Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Epic Surf News. This episode is going to cover about half of September and coming into the beginning of October. What I want to start out today with is to remind everybody, or let you know for the first time, to go ahead and check back to our last episode in September where we featured Mason O'Toole. Mason's an up-and-coming surfer, a competitive surfer from Southern California, Oceanside in particular. And so that's a really awesome Epic Surf News edition. It's actually in a board meeting type format. So it's kind of fun. It's in a Zoom meeting. Mason and I cover a couple different surfing topics, including wave pool news, wetsuits, and even grumpy surfers, which is a pretty funny topic. So I encourage you to go check that out. Please comment on YouTube, and then also, of course, share those videos when you can, especially if you know Mason. Throw that out there for us. So today, I want to start with talking about some wave pool news. For Southern California, the biggest wave pool news that we've all been keeping our eyes and ears open for is the KAMP wave pool that is slated to be completed, or I should say built, in Oceanside, California, right off the 76 highway there in North Oceanside. If you watched that last episode I was just referring to, I talked a little bit about it, shared some pics. And basically, with the COVID shutdowns that were taking place, it appeared as though the progress had stopped. And I went ahead and reached out to contacts with the City of Oceanside, and they informed me, as you see here, that the Ocean Camp has finished with the first phase of mass grading at the site. The applicant is working on addressing the staff's most recent comments from March and is still undergoing the entitlement review phase. So it doesn't sound like the project has stopped due to COVID or anything of that sort, and that we're maybe on track and this is just part of the natural progression. So let's kind of keep our fingers crossed and hope that that is the case. Hopefully they can meet that review and all the different concerns or questions that came up at that last meeting. The other wave pool news is coming out of Australia with SurfLakes. SurfLakes sent out an email in early October talking about a smaller footprint model that they are coming up with or developing or trying to develop that will cater to places that maybe have less open space or more restrictions in terms of wave pools actually being a successful project that can be implemented. So we haven't really seen a SurfLakes wave pool open to the public. There's just the one we see in Australia that has been very exclusive and mainly open just by invite. So it seems like this is good news. At the same time, it also seems a little ahead of where they're at now. So I guess keep your ears open for this. We'd like to see one of these giant plungers somewhere in the world that we can access. The next bit of surf news is a historical bit of information, and that is that Surfer Magazine is closing its doors for good. Surfer Magazine has been around for 60 years and has been, one of the main sources of surfing information, especially when you go back farther in time. That was a magazine that we would all be trying to get, something we would carry around with us on surf trips, and kind of keep on our desks and keep them clean, keep the dust off the top of them. That way we can read it, or friends can read it when they came over. So lots of legends have been featured in Surfer Magazine, as you all know. At the same time, Surfer Magazine has been trading hands in terms of ownership for the past decade or two, or longer, I should say. So, and in recent years, it's definitely seemed like its final days were coming up. So it's a bit of sad news there. I don't know who John Wayne Freeman's going to work for now. That's kind of a little joke there, John. But yeah, so that's gone. It doesn't look like they're going to be selling it to any other buyers at this point. So that is it. If you have any Surfer Mags, you might want to go back and reminisce. So the biggest news taking place in the west coast of the US is the Supergirl Pro event that had been called back on. We got notice that the contest was back on after being postponed from its regular scheduled time to run. And due to COVID, all of a sudden we got an email said it's going to be on. It was days later that it was going to be on. With that said, the format had been changed, much like a lot of other surfing contests in 2020. And in this case, they decided to go with the team format. The team format was definitely different. It might have been a little bit confusing as it was kind of sprung on everybody a bit quicker than we expected. And so they had teams set up as Team California, Team US, for example, which kind of seemed like there's overlap there. And then they even named some of the teams after some of the CT surfers, like Lakey Peterson or Sage Erickson. So Team Lakey, Team Sage, and they would team them up with other surfers. So that was definitely something new, something different. What I have to say is that out of the people that showed up, Caity Simmers is a hometown hero in Oceanside, and everybody was looking forward for her to show up, and she was able to attend and compete. And sure enough, she made it to the top. So we want to say big congratulations to Caity Simmers, all that hard work that you're putting in, and you really were able to showcase your talent there. So right on, Caity. The other thing that's notable about the contest is they did get some of the best waves that I've seen at this contest in years. The last number of years, they've really struggled with kind of the timing with swells. And the reality is, I think it was the time of year that was the thorn in that. And this time, because of the delays, it put them at a time that California really gets better waves. And maybe not the crowds. You know, I think for surfers, we're all here to see the best waves we can. And we're probably less concerned with, how many eyeballs actually show up at the beach, unlike the event coordinators, which is understandable that, they're trying to kind of, do both. The field of competitors was drastically cut. Typically, there's a lot more competitors in the qualifying series. And so this time they went with the smaller group. Here's a list of some of the winners and the winning teams and how they performed. I'm going to wrap up this Epic Surf News edition with some of the posts that we had on Facebook in the recent weeks. First, starting off with a short clip from Huntington Beach surfer Kanoa Igarashi. Check that video out. It's one from one of the past Trestles World Tour events, and he stomps in air, like it's just something he can do in his sleep. And in these posts, I'm going to kind of throw out some of the sprinkles of offerings that we've been providing as well to everybody out there. If you want to keep this moving forward, kind of like Surfer Magazine ran for 60 years, if you can help us keep this moving forward, we don't have a lot of giant sponsors right now. We're always entertaining that option. And at the same time, we're just making moves. And so Amazon has granted us the influencer or affiliate style program. And so if you use our link, you come and go to our link, amazon.com/shop/epic surf news. You will go ahead and purchase what you can, and qualifying purchases, we actually earn money. You get what you want. It's the same Amazon price, same shipping, everything you normally expect, but simply by letting them know that you are in support of us by using our link before you start shopping, you actually get what you need, and we get to keep moving and pushing forward. So in this particular ad, we featured wetsuits. There's a bunch of wetsuits in our shop and just on Amazon in general. If you click our link, anything you find, even if it's not in our shop, but you go find it on Amazon just by searching around, we get credit for that. The next thing I want to talk about is this twin fin freak here. This guy is riding a Seduction surfboard. You got to check Simon out. Simon is killing it out in the UK, Cornwall area. And I mean, he's boosting on a fish. I mean, I could barely turn a fish. And he's definitely taking it to the next level. Some beautiful boards that he's riding, and he's out there just producing content like the best of them. You'll notice that we feature quite a bit of Gdauskas content from the brothers. That's Dane, Patrick, Tanner. The three brothers live in Southern California. Lucky enough to see them in the lineup from time to time at the different spots. Some of the nicest guys you see. If you're out in the lineup and you run into pro surfers, sometimes, it's hard to get waves, but I got to say, these guys are super awesome in the lineup. They feel just like one of the regular bradas. So hopefully I don't put too much pressure on them to give away waves, but I definitely want to say thanks to them. All their clips are super hot, super amazing. So they're kicking it out, and I'm trying to share as much of it as I can. They also do a lot of good work through their organization, Positive Vibe Warriors. Supporting them also supports really good causes. And this share here is, we basically ran a list of our top 10 surfing videos from September time period. Yeah, so check out that content on youtube.com. That's channel's called Epic Surf News, as you probably know. Kelly Slater wave pool surfing content, fun waves at Old Man's. We got some wave pool demos, how to wax your surfboard. Of course, some Supergirl content from past years, and a variety of other surfing videos in a number of different categories. So we always encourage you to go there because we also earn from those videos just by you watching. So let's say you don't have the cash to go buy something on Amazon, or there's nothing that you're needing on Amazon, or maybe you don't like Amazon. Well, hopefully you like free videos. Go there, check it out. You'll be supporting us and keeping us around. Hopefully we'll be here for 60 years like Surfer. That means I'll live to like 100. So thanks a lot for that. Speaking of Sano, check out this brilliant picture that we collected at the end of September. I mean, it's just a beautiful spot. Even if you don't surf, or you don't surf well, or you just like to hang out at the beach, you could just pack up a lunch and spend all day there. And if you like sunsets, typically they have some amazing sunsets. So I encourage you to go check it out. And the only thing you have to remember about Old Man's or Sano is you just have to bring a good vibe. If you got the good vibes, that's what that surf spot is all about. So keep that whole vibe rolling, contribute to it. And just down the coast from there, we snapped a picture, actually a screen grab from Surfline, and it's the dredger. The dredger is out in Oceanside, and that thing's basically churning some sand up. I mean, it's digging out sand from the channel where the boats come in and out at the harbor. And what it does with that, so it's kind of a win-win. The boats don't bottom out. They can kind of get in and out a little easier. And what they do with that sand is they pipe it down the beach. They pipe it down to south of the San Luis River, and then they pipe it down to even like the pier. And that helps to, keep our beach a little bit bigger. If you don't know the area, or maybe you do, the beach has gotten a lot smaller. The sandy area where you like to hang out, it's gotten a lot smaller over the decades. And so this is kind of, trying to maintain that, or at least buy us some more time. Related to that, which just happened recently, which is unfortunate news, is that a lady who was sleeping on the beach, she got ran over by one of the tractors that supports the dredging efforts that take place, the moving of the pipes and moving of equipment around. So condolences to her, and hopefully we can find a safe way to kind of do this type of activity without people being endangered. So you can go online and you might find more news about that. The International Surfing Association spreading some awareness, sharing some surfing news from across the globe. Here, pictured here, if you go on Facebook, you can kind of click through the pictures and the information. But this is basically a 12-year-old scholarship winner. And so this Grom is super stoked. It looks like he's loving life, and he's having a lot of fun on some really cool surfboards. So go check out International Surfing Association. They got a lot of great information, and you can even learn about things like surfing scholarships as well. So for surfing contests, there's been a bunch of cancellations, as we've mentioned this year, and the Eddie was another contest that was canceled. So that big wave event is something that that everybody is always looking forward to. And it really depends on the waves being big enough. So the Eddie won't even run unless the waves are big enough. So it was canceled, and hopefully we'll see that resume next year. Mixing it up with more goodies that you can purchase that will support Pro Surf Blog and Epic Surf News is, how about these costume lobster claws? I mean, those are pretty cool. I don't even think it needs to be Halloween for you to just rock these things. So, grab a pair of those, wear them to the beach, start pinching people. You know what I mean? Then on the global scene, we got a couple pictures here by a friend of ours, Abe, and he is back in Japan, the Sendai area, and he's at a beach break. But I mean, look at this. This looks like a reef break almost. So he did these black and whites. They're beautiful. Check those out. Abe, you can also find him on Instagram. Also at the tail end of September, we put together some video content. We kind of recycled some North Shore pipeline footage from back in 2019. And we didn't give enough attention to this content back then, so we've had an opportunity to re-edit it. And with that, kind of talk about some of our bodyboard offerings in our Amazon Surf Shop. But really good bodyboarding here. I encourage you to check it out. Even if you don't bodyboard, I mean, you really got to take your hats off to these guys. They are killing it. Super sick. I want to take a moment to give condolences out for one of the families that attends and has worked with a Walk on Water, who offers surf lessons and a day of surfing for Groms with autism and adults as well. And so one of the moms and the surfers unfortunately lost their lives in a house fire. And so we wanted to give a shout out to the family and the community in general for that. Check out this pic right here. This is Mike. Mike is a San Diego local and just an amazing surfer and artist as well. And Mike surfs a variety of surfboards. I mean, he can swing a longboard and he can, late drop on a shorty as well. So, and he surfs everything in between. So if you can, find Mike, find this post. That's Mike Stidham. And really worth it. Check him out. So the RC Surfer, we talked about this in our board meeting last month with Mason. RC Surfers are super awesome. I think every surfer wants one. Obtaining them might be a bit tougher. We don't have any in our Amazon Surf Shop, so this is not even a plug. We want one in our surf shop, but you can find these online if you search for them. They are run about, $220, $240 probably with tax. And these things are super cool. I mean, check it out. Go to our Facebook page and you can, find some content and some information about these RC surfers. We want to see more of those out there. And there's a post by Jake Patterson. You got to see this video. It is of a caddy that, just went all out to basically support his surfer, who I believe was Julian Wilson. So let me see if I can bring this up for you here. Check this out. Yeah, just down to his skivvies, and he's just hustling. Look at that, down the steps. Doing what he has to do, man. Every surfer who's competing wants their caddy to just go all out, right? Look at that, boom. It's all over it. So yeah, go check that out. And what about the getters? Man, all you surfers, you love music, you love being rock stars out there. If you play, guess what? We got getters on our surf shop. You can go check it out. You can pick one up. Or same thing, Amazon, they got a bunch of gear. If you don't play guitar, man, pick one up. Don't be afraid. Music's a good thing for you. And just like surfing, you can kook it for a while, right? Also, earlier this month in October, National Scholastic Surfing Association, NSSA, showed a little love to Bobby Martinez, who worked his way to the top and actually had his career starting way back then when he was a Grom. And look at here, he even had hair. Dude, and check this picture out. Chris Ward doing a family cutback right here with his Grom. That is so awesome. That is super hard to do. And shout outs for all the love a dad can give to his Grom. His Grom does have autism, and we wish the best to him, and hopefully keeps that stoke alive. Looks like so much fun. Sticking with the fun on our Facebook, go check it out. That's facebook.com/epic surf news. You're going to see some classic backwater surfing where you see Steve-O. He's basically riding surfing on Austin King. So check that out. Super classic, super fun. Wave pool scheduled or proposed anyways for Fort Pierce. So Florida keeps getting a bunch of proposals for wave pools, and I know they're hungry for it. So keep your eyes out for that. More wave pool news. And that's going to wrap it up for this segment of Epic Surf News. I really thank you all for watching and supporting this channel, and for submitting content. Some of you share stuff with us. It helps us share with others and actually come up with the best content to share. There's so much content out there these days that it does make it a little hard to find stuff with following, hundreds of different surfers out there. So we'll try to keep aggregating what we can. We'll keep producing what we can. If you see us in the local lineups or on the beach, we might be getting footage of you. Everybody's having fun. The best surfers always having the most fun. So just have fun, enjoy yourself, and give a wave away. That'll kind of get you in the right mood. Cheers, everybody. Have a good one.